All right, got Wednesday here, Thursday and Friday. So this is Wednesday. Start with pin press. This is 230, only 3 reps. Supposed to get 5. Very new to the variation, but also to be completely honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna do it this way going forward. I think I'm gonna 280, 3 sets of 5, close grip, by the way. I think what I'm gonna do in the coming sessions is actually do the pin press kneeling. I mean, nothing's going to compare to the carryover that I would get if I could truly do a pin press from a standing position as it's meant to be done. But I think that the way that the rest of my body is set, there'll be a bit more carryover if I do it from a kneeling position. So going forward, next week, I think that's what I'll try. I started from like top of the nose, lower part of the eye. I don't know if you want to call that eye level or top of the nose level, because top of the nose for me is a bit below my eye. So whatever you want to call it. But I'll probably just redo it next week. And I'll try to stick with the same weight. It's not going to be very heavy at first. You're supposed to get like Supra 5 RM because it's higher than it's an easier position. 435, 2 sets of 10 RDLs because I dropped the 3rd set because I'm also doing weighted chin-ups, pull-ups, whatever you want to call them, on this day. So I didn't want to get that much volume in on my back in the middle of the week with the overhead press session on Friday and then the important squat session on Saturday. I didn't want to tax my back too much, so saved 1 set. Yeah, the pin press. So you got to kind of adapt to it before you can get the Supra 5 RM. So like ideally for me with a 240-ish 5 RM, maybe a bit more, I'd be doing like 250 plus from the pins. Even though it starts at the sticking point, it's still going to be a bit easier because you can generate the starting force at that sticking point. So whatever. We'll go kneeling because the kneeling press isn't going to be too much lower than your actual standing overhead press. Ideally, again, I'd do it standing, but it is what it is. And then here's 75 pounds, 3 sets of 5 pull-ups. There's a 5 in the middle of the 35s. I like to try to keep the pull-ups as even as possible on both sides because you will feel that like more pull on one side than another at a certain, like when you're using more than one plate. Like if you're doing like 100 pounds, fine, whatever, but like with a 100-pound plate, that's fine. But when you got like a 45 and a 10 or something like that, you should probably just find something better. All right, so 5 singles. That one was really bad. I started with 255. I thought session ruined, but I went for 255 again on the 2nd single, and that was freaking clean, man. It was just a little bit of technique with the press 2.0. Jumped up to 265, 2 singles, a little bit of knee bend on these. I didn't like that, so when I go for the PR attempt, 282, I made sure that there would be no, like I kept the quad flex the whole time. I won't do it ascending going forward. I'll probably like stick to a same weight, but I just kind of wanted to see where I'm at. Holy shit, was that fucking easy, man. Didn't even need the 2nd lay back. I'm really happy with that, you can tell. I definitely will have 300 by the end of the month. Welcome to another car talk. So first we'll talk about some pressing. So today was 5 singles, and I did it ascending. Start with 255, 2 singles, 265, 2 singles, and I went for broke with 282. Did that for 1, that's a PR. First single, that was bad, and I kind of knew at the time that it was a misgroove. So glad that it was. I was a bit worried for just a second, you know, the session was going to go downhill, but I knew with the fact that 225 flew that it was probably just a technical error. I'm not exactly sure where I went wrong. You can't really tell by watching the video back. If I had to guess, the bar was a bit too far in front of me. And the reason that I say that is, well, it just generally tends to be the issue. Pressing is how far the bar, you know, it's bar path. That's
big thing. But especially with the press 2.0, you want to assume a more narrow grip. And so that's what I'm doing. I got like half of my index finger here on the smooth. And I think that, you know, because it's not touching my collarbone, it was probably a bit too far out in front of me, because I remember feeling the weight come, you know, I felt off balance in my feet, like I needed to take a step forward, but I was just trying to lock it out. And I have to take a weird step forward, and I really struggle to lock it out. And I have to like catch myself, and I remember, you know, I was pretty pissed off. Because I didn't know, you know, if it was just going to be that one misgroove, or if my form was about to kind of fall apart big time with these heavier weights, because I hadn't touched any more than, you know, I hadn't touched 255 overhead press in a long time. Luckily, I was able to correct. The only thing with these, with the press 2.0 that I know I need to address is my knees were moving a little bit with, you know, some of those singles. Once I got up to, you know, going for broke on the PR, I made sure, like, I consciously was like driving my freaking legs into the ground, knees locked. Because if I had moved my knee and I had to retake the press, and I'd already lost like the energy from, I'd been pissed. So luckily the PR was good, but volume on Monday, you know, definitely that's something that will be addressed. Probably not going to do my pressing ascending style very often. I'm not going to do that next week. My goal right now, and I don't know how possible it is, we'll have to see how next week goes, is I want to get 275 for 5 singles, just straight across 5 singles, and I want them all to move pretty well. Once I do that, then I think I want to take a shot somewhere in the 290s, and then I think by the end of this month, for sure, that 300 press is going to fall. It might even freaking be there now. Like, look how easy 282 moved. I didn't even have to use like an actual layback. I did the first layback to start. I did the hip drive, but then there was no second layback. And that's kind of the point of the press 2.0, is to get the double layback. Yeah, that felt sweet. Felt sweet. I'm glad that it moved well. Love singles day for pressing. I haven't taken a heavy single in a long time, so I was really like itching to take them. So I feel like next week I'll try like 270 for 5 singles, and then next week I'll do 275. Or maybe I might just go 270. We'll see how warm-ups feel. I don't really have it structured out, how exactly I want to do it, so with a few weeks I think I'll fall into the line. Like a strict pressing day tomorrow, so kind of looking forward to that. The difference for me with the strict press and the press 2.0, a big one for me is grip width, because I'm gonna bring my grip out just a little bit to touch the bar of my collarbones for the strict pressing, and that's a big one. I don't even want to like move my hips at all, because I know that I tend to do that with the strict press. So it's gonna like, I'm gonna try to do like full-on freaking military press, short rest periods, and I'm not gonna use very heavy weight at all. It's gonna be in the low 200s, and just really focus on a forward bar path, and I don't want to call it like isolating, but just using just pure shoulder and tricep, no body English to make the press easier, just strict AF. Also have squats tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do with squats is I like these singles. I think that's a great idea to really drive strength. So I want to introduce that on the squats too, because also these 5 RMs, they like really do beat the shit out of me. Like, I'll finish a set and it's, you know, my legs hurt. My hip, you know, my IT band might flare up throughout the set depending on how my form goes. I've even had like groin fucking hurt after. So they beat the shit out of me. And even the volume sets of 5 beat the shit out of me too. So I'm kind of interested in doing singles with that. The thing is once you kind of like plateau on the singles, then where do you go from that? And the same thing, the same kind of deal with the press. Like I wonder how long, just thinking out loud here, how long 5 singles is going to maintain. At some point you might want to push for 7, 8, 9, 10. Same thing with the squat. Maybe move to doubles with the squat, like drop back and then go to like how exactly am I going to structure this? I don't know. So I just feel like I'm getting like the 5 RM just beat the fucking shit out of me, man. Like every single rep it feels like a goddamn grind. I don't like that. Even like my volume sets, everything's kind of felt like a grind. Maybe it's just been like how much I've been squatting throughout this year, just like the sheer amount of volume I've put on my legs through constantly squatting, doing bouts of squatting every single day. So, it's fucking strength training, man. It's not going to be easy, but that's just kind of where my head's at with some of these lifts. Also interested in how the halting deadlifts are going to go on Sunday. I'm thinking outside the press here. It's kind of weird. I don't, you really look forward to doing this lift, whatever your pet lift is at the moment, whatever lift you enjoy the most. You look forward to doing it throughout the week. Like, I know for me, my least favorite day in the week is my volume deadlift day, the RDLs. That's not a very, it's not a fun session for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd rather RDL than not lift at all. It does feel very fulfilling. I love, in a weird way, I like the hamstring soreness because that feels super productive for me. I feel like, session well spent. Glutes and hamstrings feel shot. But it's not, it's just not my favorite lift. I don't find it very fun. It's kind of a chore lift. I think that's a good word to use, a chore lift. And then, spend all week looking forward to the overhead press sessions, and now that it's overhead press day, and we've made it through overhead press day, now I'm looking forward to everything else. It's like, well, fuck. Can never be happy, apparently. I'm being difficult. So, that's that. I think I'm going to move my bench day, too, from Wednesdays to Fridays. I had a good reason for doing that, but I cannot remember what it was. I think maybe it was just to give myself something else to do on the day of 5 singles, because you get done that really fast. So, and this is a day off of work for me, so I can do a longer session if I want. So, just thinking about moving the bench day to Friday. But that one set of 5 on pin press doesn't take too long either, so maybe not. I've been doing some curls, but I do them off camera. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see a video of me doing curls. At least I wouldn't expect so. Do some barbell curls, do some hammer curls. I've been mixing it up. My arms have been growing, but I think that's more so from the pull-ups than it is the curls, because it's very inconsistent too. Like maybe 1 or 2 times a week, and I've actually kind of periodized it too. Today I did like 2 sets of 12. Strict barbell curls with like 100 pounds. Nothing fucking impressive. Who cares? But I could probably do more volume if I wanted to. But maybe I'll record it when I do strict curls for like something impressive with 135. Like, and strict too. Like strict barbell curls with 135 for like 2 or 3 sets of like 8. Maybe I'll record that, but not for now. But I mean, also too, people say that it's like, curls can help with keeping the elbows healthy. I don't know about that. I think that the pull-ups do more of that. If you're doing like a supine, like a chin up, and then for me, I did like semi-supine because of the Swiss bar. So anyway, love where the press is at. I think I'll have 300 by the end of the month. Just having a good time being a press specialist. It is a really fucking fun lift. Definitely recommend giving it a shot if you have interest in pressing some big boy weights. It's about that, you know. Now that if I do, which I think I will, if I do the singles for squats, now we've really come a long way from the Texas method that I was kind of running, you know, just a week or two ago. You know, that is what it is. Sometimes forced to do other shit. So hopefully these singles with the squat feel good tomorrow. I probably will do that ascending for now to just kind of see what feels good, and then, you know, get a little bit more rigid with it going forward. So just dipping the toes in the water, so to speak. But that's that. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.